versus Zerg recently, but in this matchup, he is actually one of the best, you know, out there for this.
Very much so, and we're going to see if there's a different look here that Squirtle can give. The game's about ready to start. These players are ready to go. Here we are. The countdown has begun.
And the map here is going to be Cloud Kingdom between these two fantastic players, of course, representing Team Fnatic and, of course, Startail. We do have Squirtle, currently 2-0 in the grand finals. This is the best of 5, of course. 1 win away for Alive. 3 wins and another best of 5 away from Squirtle.
Yeah.
Of course, going to be a very difficult task.
All right, so here in the top right-hand corner of ESV Cloud Kingdom, we have our blue Terran player, from Fnatic Recall. It's Alive! And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, our red Protoss player down 0-2, looking to come back with 3 games in a row. It's Startail Squirtle!
Wow. I guess we know who the crowd wants to win. And why wouldn't you? I mean, I'd love this to go on to the next best of 5. We can just, you know, waste all everybody's time and sit here and just keep on casting forever and ever and ever. That'd be amazing. And this map now, of course, once again can play towards heavy aggression from Alive, but can also play for some form of 2 base pushes. The distances between bases aren't that long, they're not that extreme here. We've seen a lot of Immortal pushes on this map, we've seen a lot of Colossus pushes as well from Squirtle throughout this tournament. Is he going to do something along those lines, or is he going to play more straight up? Is he just going to take the more passive route, the more defensive route? We'll have to find out.
Well, this is another one of those, this is actually one of the maps, I should say, that a 2-base Colossus push worked really well for Squirtle against Marine King earlier on in this championship bracket. So we'll see if he decides to revisit that now. And I do want to give an extra special shout out as well to the folks at the Boston Barncraft as well. I know there were a ton of StarCraft personalities that were out there and gathering as well. So thanks very much to everyone who has tuned into this event. So, back into the game now. Alive is actually bypassing gas for the time being, staring down a 1-Rax Castless fast expansion, not putting down a second barrack somewhere on the map.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here. One of the big things to note for as Alive as a player, as a Terran player, if anyone was actually studying his play or knows it, is that he isn't a player that favors that fast third command center. And if you now think on the Protoss side of things, that's why we've seen Squirtle using these 2-base pushes so often, because it's actually a very nice thing to do because it delays the factory. You know, like 8 times out of 10, the follow-up of a 3 command center build is going to be that double engineering bay, which of course once again does delay that factory even more. But we are seeing the gas go down here for Squirtle. He has skipped the Zealot once again. He's checking around for that proxy barracks with his probe, but what has he in store for us?
Well, we'll certainly find out in a bit. Not seeing Proxy playing is probably going to make him a little bit more interested, knowing that his player, or his opponent, is playing a bit more straight up right now with that just gasless fast expand. Already working research on the way, but of course, Squirtle with that earlier second gas going to accumulate a ton of excess gas, whether that goes to sentries, into an expand, whether that becomes tech, we'll certainly find out here in a bit.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to find out here, because it's Squirtle's turn in this game now. It's his turn to play, it's his turn to make the move. We've already seen Alive dedicating now to this 1 barracks command center, adding on the double barracks behind it, and of course we'll get some gas very shortly, I suppose. And well, he actually isn't yet, so he throws down a 4th barracks. There is the Nexus coming down for Squirtle. But look at this, we see 4 barracks. Is he going to do a 5th? Yes, he is. Going to throw down a 5th barracks here. We're going to have so many Marines. The big question, is Squirtle going to find this?
Well, we'll find out in a bit. Now, as our observer just pointed out to us, Squirtle had actually pulled off the second gas for quite a while, and actually still not mining anything from that as well as he expands at the moment. So, first sentry coming up, another gateway on the way as well. Looks like he may be saving up for a 3rd.
Yeah.
And there it is. Is it going to be enough, though, to deflect this 5 barracks push?
Well, this is going to be pretty crazy. I mean, if this goes completely undetected, this could actually once again be very detrimental to his tournament life here. We do see the 2 gateways coming down on a very regular timing. Sentry production is being constructed. Now we do have him going back into the second gas. There's a very standard robotics facility coming down. The thing is though, is that what Alive is going to try and do is take control of the Zelmog towers by only showing a few of the big amount of Marines, and then just now come in with a big flush of units, which may catch his opponent off guard. But depending on how many sentries we see built, depending on if he cuts corners for any tech strategy, all that thought though, as the SCV gets in and sees, he doesn't really see anything that probably, you know, is going to push him down another tech path. This is actually very standard what he sees here. But the sentry count, let's have a look exactly, is only at 1. A second one being built. 250 gas in the bank. Is not opting to build any more sentries here. If he sits on 2, this actually could be very dangerous here. No gas taken yet for Alive. And of course, he will be poking forward with this.
Yeah, this is a really big push coming out of Alive as well. He's gathering the rest of his units through the middle of the map. Oh, these sentries a little bit out of position. We'll see if Alive can do enough damage. He's almost killed the Zealot right away.
Well, actually, this may be okay if he turns around and force fills these, and he does, and the Zealots get straight in there. And this isn't the full amount of Marines. They're still traveling across the map. And I don't think this is looking too bad. He did use all his sentry energy, though. That is the bad thing here, but still has 200 gas in the bank.
Well, that's just what I was about to say. So much energy has already been wasted, but a few units are still chasing them down. Only 1 Zealot remaining now. More reinforcements coming in. Will the Stalkers be enough?
Oh, he should be able to deal with this as long as he controls his units well. He can warp in some more Zealots now, which he does. He pulls probes. Cannot afford to lose too many probes here. Ooh, this is so tense. How many probes has he actually lost? 7 probes in total. That's so good for Alive.
Alive continuing to stream in those Marines, just waiting to get a little bit better engagement. But now that the Stalker count is up to 4, Squirtle can more effectively micro against that, start to whittle down those Marine numbers.
He is going to clean this up eventually, but look at this in the top right. We have 800 minerals. That's a lot of minerals, Cat's Pajamas. He's now throwing down all 4 gases at once and now the command center. What is now Squirtle going to do? He throws down the double forge. Will be wanting to take those gases on the natural very shortly, but another squad of Marines is moving in towards the natural, so has to be very careful about these sentries. Cannot afford to lose them. All probes, actually.
No, again, just more mining time lost here. Another probe went down. Does lose a sentry as well. Gonna get things cleaned up, but not before another couple of units go down. A good little run by there for Alive. We do see the double forges just finishing up, though, so Squirtle going down a little bit more passive routes, of course. Gonna get those double upgrades. Gonna sit on the 3-gate robo for a little while. Possibly tack up to Colossus here in a bit as well. Indeed, there is the robotics bay coming down.
Ooh, I see a very, very smart move here by Squirtle. Did anybody else see it? He cancelled the second, well, both of the forges upon Alive scouting it. So Alive now is going to be like, all right, cool, here comes double forge, here comes double upgrades. But actually, he completely techs over with the robotics bay. The 4th gas is down. How many gateways? He's still at 3. He will be wanting to throw down 3 additional gateways. And here comes his trademark build, the Colossus push with 6 gateways. Alive actually has 4 bunkers down, which is hilarious. But the thing is he going to be prepared? That is the question. Bomber couldn't answer it. MKP couldn't answer it, and neither could MMA will Alive.
We'll find out here in a bit. Yeah, this was so smart, as you pointed out, canceling those double forges, because this just went from super passive into incredibly aggressive, as those 6 gates and a couple of Colossi are going to hit very, very quickly on. And look at that, Alive actually canceled or recovered a couple of those bunkers back at home.
And he does have 3 Marauders making per time. That's actually not too bad for what is coming. He hasn't dedicated to a very heavy Marine force. And the factory is now up and reactor building, and he is going to be over into medivacs. But the question is, with this style of play, you don't really ever think about going Colossus. The time you think, time about going over to Vikings is you're not going to do this until the 3rd base of the Protoss is down. So unless he lands a scan, he's going to be building nothing but medivacs, and that, of course, is going to play so well into Squirtle's hand.
Yeah, we already see extended thermal lances well on the way. The 2nd Colossus just about to drop out as well. We do have a couple of medevacs coming up, but as you said, looks like that's all Alive is going to be producing for quite a while out of that starport. 3rd base finally down inside of that pocket, though, and we'll see if Alive's economy is going to be enough to give him enough units to start to catch up to the sheer army size of Squirtle that's going to hit very, very soon.
We see a scan by Alive. Actually missed that. He did scan the 3rd base here, saw no expansion, and is like, oh, what are you doing here? We haven't seen anything yet from Alive in terms of finding out what it is, but I think he's about to now, as we see Squirtle pushing across the map. And look, he's put a pylon on the north side by the 3rd base. He's going for this. Will he be able to break down Alive, who has started that Viking production?
Arbo Live is retreating back to his natural now. He may have to give up his third here in a bit if Squirtle decides to go that way, and it looks like he is bypassing the rocks and heading right over to the third.
Remember though, there are no upgrades. Having cancelled those forges, there is that +1 attack. +1 armor is on the way, +2 attack also, but it's so far away, and he has to pick up the command center. But remember, he has to crush with this. He cannot really fall back on anything without any upgrades. He is going for the win.
Oh, just one bunker up right now. Is it going to be repaired for long enough for Alive to hold on? Squirtle trying to move in and attack right now. The bunker goes down immediately. A bunch of SCVs are pulled off the line, and look at the AoE splash damage there from the Colossi, just tearing through those SCVs.
Oh, and the last Viking goes down. One extra one pops up. He's using the Colossus to have the higher ground vision to snipe it. The next Viking goes down. 2 Colossus remain. Will he be able to smash through? Alive is on the back foot in Pajamas.
I don't think he can do it. Alive is just taking so much damage right now. Down by 40 supply. He's lost his economy. He's lost 2 bases, and here comes Squirtle.
And Alive has nothing left here. His upgrades are about to kick in, but he has no units left. Alive on the back foot. The force fields keep the units away. Squirtle is going to take this game.
Yes, he is. He's going to force a game number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the grand finals in IPL 4 is not over yet. Squirtle still has a fighting chance.
Only 8 SCVs left. That is it. He has no economy. The 6 gateways behind this will continue to reinforce until Alive types GG, till he hits that keyboard button. But well, Squirtle is on the start of an incredible comeback here as he destroys everything Alive owns.
Yes, Alive is dropping Squirtle at the moment, but that is going to get cleaned up. There's the GG. Squirtle takes a game here in the grand finals.
And that is just so important. Let me just tell you about the psychological thing here from Squirtle. Going 0-2, being 1 game away. In his head, he's like, oh, you know, 1 game, that's it, I'm gone. But with that 1 single victory, the anchor being planted down, being sunk down, that is it. That is the changing point in this series. And this could just spiral out of control for Alive if he doesn't keep everything focused, intact, concentrated on the next map.
And Alive starting to look a little bit shaken there as well, a little uncertain of himself after that game. 5 racks pressure in the beginning did not work out all that well. He didn't kill that many probes. He wasn't able to pick up on the switch from the double forge over to the very aggressive 6K Robo Bay, and thus Squirtle's able to take a game back.
And Alive, I mean, I'm just thinking about Squirtle. If Squirtle was smart going into this series, he's going to veto Antigua Shipyard and get rid of that. So it really does come down to now what a map is Alive going to pick, but I don't think it's going to change too much now. Of course, there's only a couple remaining, so he kind of is going to have to play them all out anyway here. But wow, what an incredible win there. Great decision making from Squirtle to just go and cancel the forges, change everything around and catch Alive off guard, who is gonna, well, he did lose to that build that everybody else has lost to. And even though he knew about this build, in the game, in middle of changing everything, he's never gonna be expecting it.
So our last remaining Squirtle, the only person who came through the open bracket to make it into the championship bracket, still has a fighting chance here. We'll see if he's able to take 2 more games in a row, though, and then he has to play an entire another best of 5. I'm sure that's weighing on his mind, but he's certainly not letting it get him down right here.
And he's going to need a lot of support from everybody here, but we'll go into a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with the next game here. So guys, please stay tuned, and I hope you're enjoying yourselves.